Hey everyone, Mike here. Are you ready to unlock the command center of your business? Today we're diving deep into dashboards, your personalized portal to productivity. Master of alliteration. Ever feel like your software dashboard is more like a disaster board? I understand, I've been there. But today we're going to turn that chaos into clarity. I'm going to show you as the admin the incredible flexibility that you have. We'll explore all the options, the functionality, and the sheer awesomeness of being able to design and assign specific dashboards to specific roles within your organization, or even to specific people inside your organization. And not only that, but you can also do the same for your specific clients or types of clients based on your categorization. Think of it as building the ultimate digital workspace for maximum efficiency, and all of it designed by you. Okay? You ready? Let's go. Okay, let's start at this dashboard, which is kind of work in progress. This is in our mock company accomplished CPAs account, and I'm logged in as a super admin. So typically the super admin would be the owner of the company and would have access to really everything. And one of the things that might be typical for admins is that you would want to have this all tasks block on your dashboard. This gives you a very nice insight into the tasks that are in the system, regardless of if they're in a particular project, if they're assigned to you as the admin, or maybe they're assigned to clients. You can surface any task from this dashboard block. So let's walk through it a little bit and you'll see how it works. So here's a task that is assigned to me as the admin, and I see that. I can complete that here, or I can change anything about this task. You'll see that the status shows as open and priority normal. But what if I change it to priority high? I can see that it changes immediately in the dashboard, priority normal, etc. I can change the due date. I can even change who it's assigned to. So I can do that all within one click of the dashboard, or I could upload task files easily. I could drop them right here. Any files that were attached to the task would be visible and present here for me to download or preview. And then I could always just mark this task as complete. If I'm just trying to get to it quickly, I could just mark it confirmed and now it's complete. Or I can just cancel as I'm doing here. So this block is configured to only show 5 tasks, as you see here, but I could click here to view all tasks. It would take me directly into the project management toolkit and to the all tasks menu, same as if I was to click right here. But what's really cool is this can surface tasks that are not even showing now. So I know that there's a task in the list of all tasks that has the word compile in it. So if I do an open search here, and it just surfaces it. Now you see that if I go back and do open search, I don't see compile here anywhere. It's not in the first 5 tasks as they're currently sorted here. But if I search for it, I can bring it right up to the top. So if I know what I'm looking for, I can bring it quickly, even if it's not in the task. It doesn't matter if you have a million tasks. A search will bring it right up. And there's many ways to search. So look, you can search by due date, and then you can select the range, upcoming 7 days, past 7 days, some range or some custom range. You can search by statuses. Any of your custom statuses would show up here. You can customize and reorder them. You can search by priority, by client. So this would be the client that the task is related to, or you can search by assignee. Let's go here. And now I can search by, say, I know I have one, I think, assigned to this company, which is a client, but they have tasks associated and assigned to them, some of which are completed, some of which are not completed, as we see here. Or again, I can go back to open search. Now, once I have the task displayed, I can sort them by any one of these options. So a lot of powerful options here built into a nice clean dashboard block. Okay, so now to hammer this home and help you truly understand the functionality, let's go to the content menu and to the list of dashboards. I want to show you exactly how this dashboard is configured. Let's notice one thing before we do that is that this block, the My Invoices block, doesn't quite line up, and the spacing isn't quite what I want it to be. I want it to be a little more so that it matches what is here, just for visual consistency. So here we go to dashboards. I'm going to go to dashboards, and then I want to choose admin accomplished. That's the one we're looking at. And here we are in the configuration of the dashboard. First, let's look over here and see that it is assigned specifically to me as the super admin. You'll have to understand this highest, medium, and lowest priority as far as which dashboards are assigned to which groups or people directly. And in this case, I've assigned it specifically only to one person, and that's the highest priority. So Matthew Bentley will always get this dashboard. Now, when I go to the all task block here and I edit, I'm going to get the configuration screen here, and you'll see that I have a lot of options. I could actually rename it. I could say company tasks, let's just say, make it different. I can show 5 or I can show up to 20 all at one time. So I could have a very large task dashboard with 20 tasks showing. I can set the default sort and the default filter. So if I wanted to always show, say, the highest priority or a specific priority, I could just show urgent tasks. Or I could show all the priorities like this. And then I could say, show me priority low to urgent or urgent to low. So in this case, the most urgent priority would be at the top, and then the lowest priority would be at the bottom. And that's how it would come up every time it loaded. It would be loaded specifically with this configuration. If you'll remember, I had some completed tasks that were sitting on my block there. But if I have this checked, then when I complete a task, it will be automatically removed and replaced with the next appropriate task that is not completed. So you don't have completed tasks sitting there. And then any of this information I can just choose to hide. Now, why would I want to do that? That's what's really powerful here. And what I'm referring to is the ability to create dashboards that are perfectly configured for specific team members in your staff or clients, right? So let's start with team members. Let's just say you have like a college kid that just started and they're in your organization and you just want to show them specific things, but not too much. Well, what you can do is create a dashboard just like we showed here before. You can assign it specifically to that person, or maybe you put them in a team, a specific team, and they receive the dashboard because it's a low-level team that doesn't require a lot of access. And then you can create a task block for them, and you can just start to say, well, let's not show them the name of the client. How about that? And that might be one that's appropriate for a freelancer, say. Or maybe you don't want them to see the task files, or maybe you don't want them to see the project name, or whatever it is you don't want them to see. And then maybe you only want them to see tasks with specific statuses. However it is, you are able to really customize, and this configuration will only apply to this task block on this dashboard. So in a very granular way, you can customize this particular presentation of the tasks and allow it to show to this specific staff member and limit or focus or narrow their vision based on your use case and how you want them to use and see the underlying data. So that's pretty powerful. You can make specific dashboards for specific people, and on those dashboards, you can specifically refine and design the functionality and visibility of elements based on those specific people's needs. And you can do this with multiple dashboards. You can create 1,000 dashboards if that's what you need. Most businesses need 5, maybe 10 for specific purposes. And understand that you can assign the dashboards based on their needs. But not only that, inside the dashboards, you can control visibility of specific blocks, specific roles, specific columns, based on the logged in user's role or their association with a circle or with a team. So you can customize these dashboards to work on many levels in a very granular way. Let's also understand that this task block, for example, you can show only to specific roles, or you can hide for specific roles, or you can show it only for specific users or hide for specific users. And depending on the block for which you are setting these options, you may have more options like circles or teams, or you may have fewer options. And this is usually defined by the permissions of the resource that you're trying to assign. let's move here and remember that my invoices block has a little bit of styling that we want to add to it. So I'm going to go inside here and you'll see that my invoices has the same sort of, let's set the defaults for this. I'll just leave it alone for now, but understand that it's here. You can set currency defaults, show the avatar, show the grand total. This is one of those blocks you can show to clients, no problem. You can show it to your teammates, no problem. And here, you may not want to show the invoice status or the payment type to your clients. Maybe you just want to show them very specific information. You can adjust that on a granular level here. And then here in style options, let's move and add a few more pixels to this. And then I want to remove some pixels from these outside areas of margin. And I'm going to click save. Now it looks a little closer where we want to be. Let's go ahead and click save. And then we'll move to, okay, we're back. I'm going to refresh here. We're back at the dashboard. And now look, our blocks are lined up nicely. We have almost the exact same spacing here. I might even take out a couple of pixels here to make this look really, really clean. And so now I have an all task block. I have a my invoices block, which works in just the same way as we saw up here, but with some very specific my invoicing nice to haves. So we see that this invoice is open. I can click here and see the entire invoice, see all of the items. I know everything about this invoice. I can see attached files. I can view the attached files if that's the case. But what's nice is I can also record the payment here as an admin. So let's just say I get a stack of checks in the mail. I've used my bank app and deposited them all, and now I need to satisfy them in my invoicing software. So now I'm jumping to SuiteDash, and right on my dashboard, I just click record payment. This can be my default. Let's just say checked. These are customizable. You can put Bitcoin in here. You can trade chickens. You can do whatever you want to do. That can be anything you need, but check is pretty typical in this case. I want to uncheck that because maybe I don't want to send an email, and I'm going to record payment and it'll satisfy this invoice. Okay. So my invoice is fully paid. It was paid on this date. This was the due date. So everything is clear for me. Here's the client. I know it's done, and that's great. So I can do that right from the dashboard without digging into the invoicing tool, without getting all the way in here and then filtering for the client. I can see everything here. If I wanted to search for a specific client, I can do that here and just go to, say, Buzz Cola. Let's see if they have any invoices open with me. Here it is. Now I can do all the things that I need to do with that. Okay. Back to open search, and now I have my whole block populated again. Everything is just as it should be. All right, so we're not going to look through every single block and every single option that's available in those blocks. But yes, let's look at one more block before we move on and start investigating the reporting block. And this is the CRM filter block. So right now it's set up with the default settings, and I see my clients. Here I can see what circles they are in. This is important maybe to you. There's a company circle and a bookkeeping and a tax prep circle. I can impersonate this client from right here and go directly in and see exactly what they see. I can message this client from right here, or very nicely, I can get right to their dashboard. I just click that in a new tab suddenly on the dashboard, and now I can really perform anything that is available to me in their CRM dashboard. I can make any of these choices, and that is very powerful. I can create notes and set events and change their circles, etc., etc. But one thing to understand about the CRM filter block is that you can have multiple CRM filter blocks on a single dashboard. And the reason this is important is that if you go back to the configuration side, I can create a CRM filter block, and I can limit the filter to circles, say for example. And I can go down and say, okay, here's tax prep. So now this CRM filter block will only show me CRM targets who are included in the tax prep circle. Or I could use bookkeeping, okay? Or if I'm using a strategy whereby I create and assign a specific circle for each onboarding step that I'm taking them through, and as I'm taking them through these steps, I'm adding them and removing them to those specific circles to help control their experience and what they have visibility of during that onboarding process. And this is very common, and we'll probably do a video to show that at some point. But if I did that and say I had 6 different steps, What I could easily do then is create a dashboard with 6 of these CRM filter blocks. And in the first block, I would put the circle for that step 1. In the second block, I might use the step 2, and step 3, and step 4, and step 5, and step 6. And depending on the layout, in the end, what I would see is 6 different blocks. Each block would show me exactly which CRM target is in that step. So I would be able to see my entire onboarding funnel, and I would be able to see which of my CRM targets was in each step, and I could easily access them. I know what step they're in. I would be able to impersonate them or message them. And so right from that single dashboard, I could see my entire onboarding structure, my funnel, who was where, get to them very easily, message them, help them out, make sure they were problem-free, etc. And this is super powerful. And so you would do that here, and then in this rename, you would just call this step 1 or whatever you wanted to call it. And then in the second block, I would call it step 2 and so. So on the dashboard, it'll be really clear, like which block represented which stage, and then it'll be very clear which targets were in which stage. So that's a really powerful way to use the CRM filter block, but there are lots of options. So you can use it any way that is shown here. You can show deal stages. You can show login status. You can even use custom tags. So you can use this to facilitate almost any kind of tracking / reporting that you're trying to do to understand which one of your CRM targets are where, or at what status, or in what condition. This is all very custom to your workflow. You decide what you want. All the tools are here to help you make it happen. Okay, let's keep moving. And the last thing we'll do in this video is let's just add another block here. Let's fill in this little blank. And let's do the reporting block. Let's start here. Okay, so the reporting block gives you a series of options that will be expanded. But in this case, you'll have this area here, and it will take up this column, as we showed here, where I'm moving my mouse. So I only want to fit, say, 2 across here. So let's start with, let's just go total clients and total prospects. And I'm showing 2 tiles, so that is exactly what I need to show. And I'm going to click Save. Okay. And now I just want to add another reporting block. And this one, I want to keep 2, and I want to do total revenue, and let's say open estimates, and I'll click Save. Okay, so now I have 2 more. Okay, so now I have 2 more reporting blocks, and let's just do 2 more reporting block here. And for this one, we'll do total number in circles, and let me set the circle. We're going to find the circle, and it's going to be, let's see, total number in tax prep, and then we'll do total leads. Okay, let's just see here. Okay, so I have no leads, and I have 3 people in tax prep. There's lots of ways you can configure this, but just know that you can do multiple reporting blocks, and you can create any number of configurations you want. If I wanted to do a bunch of single reporting blocks that showed total number of circles and do an entire column over here, for example, easy to make columns that were very skinny on this side, like this one would be have a skinny column on the left or a skinny column on the right. Then I could just stack reporting blocks down one side or the other and then show how many are in each circle. So I always have a count of circle A has 10, circle B has 40, circle C has 13. And that might help me in the same way that we just described using the CRM filter block, but instead of seeing the actual people in it, I'm getting a count using the reporting block. So you just need to play around with this. Keep working, keep building, refining, designing according to your needs, and you'll find out what's the most helpful to you. All of these dashboard elements are designed to help quickly and easily surface information and data that is deeper in the platform so that you can move quickly and efficiently throughout your day. And not just you and not just your day, but you can design dashboards that will help members of your staff over here do that, members of your staff over there do that, and even your clients to move quickly and efficiently through the workloads that you have for them. And every little bit that we gain in efficiency is falling to your bottom line. So this is important. That's all profit. Okay, so before we save this and leave, let's make some nice stylistic choices again. Remember, I wanted to take some spacing out from here. Let's go back down to 20. I think we went from 15 to 25. And then here, I want to try to even this up. So this top reporting block, let's look. I'm going to go with 10 here. I think that'll accomplish it. Yep, looks good. And then it looks like we're needing some adjustments. So really quickly, what I would do is go through and probably take out all of these margins on the outside. Yep. And then I'll do that for these other two reporting blocks really quickly. Okay, so then save. Okay, and here we are on the front end. Let's refresh. All right, so now we have our task block. We have our filter block, which we didn't really make many changes to, but we talked about how it can be used. We have the My Invoices block, and here we have our clients, prospects, revenue. They have a nice little block here. So the default color is here, and the default icons are here. But let's go just one level deeper here before I leave. And understand that you can change the colors of these icons. So if we go here, I can change the color. Let's just change it to something a little more pastel. I don't know, like this. There's a lot of things that can work, but you may have something that works really well for you, and you find that it's a nice look for your dashboard. So we'll start with this. There we go. That's not that nice, but this can turn out really nicely. It takes a little bit of time to get it just right, so I won't bore you with that in this video. But here's another demo company that we have that has a decent dashboard that I want you to see. And if you get the colors right, everything seems to come together and looks really pretty nice. Now, the reporting block, remember that you can click here for total revenue. If you click here, you'll go to your unpaid invoices. You can always click any of these graphs to get a bigger version and to really drill down or just dissect your data a little bit here. You can take any one of these charts, any ones that you like, that looks like what you really want to show or think about keeping. You can print or save. You can make this full screen. So you can do that all from the reporting block in every case that you see a little chartlet, we would call this. That chartlet can be expanded. These are just progress meters based on the data that is being funneled through the reporting block. Here's a good example of level 2 clients, which would be a custom designation for me and this mock company. And I can call this whatever I want. And then I'm seeing clients that in my use case here need extra attention based on whatever parameters I use to draw them to the surface here. So this is a nice setup. All right, and the last thing I want to discuss in this video is let's look at this mock company. Again, accomplished CPAs, but I'm going to log in as a client now. And this client has as their dashboard something configured like a tax center where we can put their returns, we can assign tasks, they can pay their invoices, etc. So this is just a very simple dashboard created for this purpose, a little experimental, working on some things here. But what I want to show here is that this is a file download block, or it's actually 3 file download blocks. These blocks are a little bit different than the My Tasks and My Invoices block, which are designed in sort of a hard-coded way to have this white background, these rounded edges, it's got a header, a footer. Everything is built into this. It's really scripted the way it should be. And it really can't be displayed in another way. As opposed to the file download block, which was made to fit into some design that maybe you already have. It is capable of that, but in this case, it looks best if I were to show it using this background that looks like it was built and designed the same exact way as the My Tasks and My Invoices. And I just want to show you how this can be achieved. Okay, so here I am in the list of dashboards inside Accomplished CPAs. I'm now logged back in as the super admin. I'm going to go to this tax prep dashboard and I'm going to show you how this is built. All right, so here it says your tax center. Here it has the task block, the invoice block that we saw before. And here's the 3 download blocks. So if you notice, they're in a column, and here in this column is where the magic sort of happens, okay? So see the border radius is set for 10 pixels, and the background color is set for white. You can just choose this and go all the way to white. And that's what makes the background appear as that card, okay? Because if I were to, let's remove this, and I'll just leave that there because it won't matter. And I'm going to click Save, and now I'm going to preview as Morgan. Yes, this one. Okay, so when I preview it, There's that same My Task block and My Invoices block, but now look how this shows up. So these download blocks and some of the other blocks are designed to fit into, let's say I have just a white background and I just want to use the white background. I can do that, or if I have a background with some color that I want to make and then show the files against that, that gives me some flexibility here. Or in the case that I want to use the whole column and set the background color as white here, this is a style choice and something that gives you flexibility. So now here I am again, and I can go back to, excuse me, Morgan here. Now I can see that it looks very similar, and you may have noticed we played with the spacing to get the gutters and the padding right so that everything looks really uniform. And this doesn't take much work, just a little playing around with the pixels, and there you'll have it. But now it looks a lot like what this looks like. It looks cohesive. It's a nice design. Keep in mind that you can always go here to the styling options and really change how things are laid out. This is where I put the background image in. I can also use custom CSS here. I can use a background texture. There's a lot of options here. So these dashboards, as well as portal pages and landing pages, have lots of design options that you can use to get your presentation just as you would like, and these styling options that you can use to get exactly what you want facing to your clients, to your staff, etc. So suite mates, start shaping your spectacular spaces. Remember, these dynamic dashboards deliver data directly, driving decisions and dramatically developing daily direction. Now dive in, design diligently, and definitely drop your dashboard discoveries in the comments below. I can't do it with a straight face. Like this video if you found it helpful, and definitely follow for fantastic future features and fast fixes. Thanks everyone. See ya. Bye.